Right, another video. And not for any particular reason or a particular time that I've chose, just because I've got 5 minutes to myself. And I was speaking to someone earlier about it. It's about addiction, basically. But no, I'm not talking about drug addiction. Well, not that in particular. I'm talking about a gambling addiction that I had years ago. I'm 35 now. I was 17, 18. I had a credit card. I had thousands in the bank. Gambled it all out. I couldn't watch football, boxing, tennis. I couldn't watch anything competitive without putting money on it. Or if I could, I just totally lost enjoyment for it. That's a horrible feeling when you're that age, because you think, well, certainly if I can only speak on behalf of myself, I can only speak about my experiences. But I'd go to my dad's, for example, when I'd be watching football with my brothers. They wouldn't know I had money on it, but there was times where I would be watching a game with £500 on it, or £1,000. I lost £1,000 before in a game where Barcelona were playing a double. This was back when the UEFA Cup was a thing. It was Barcelona were playing and Bolton were playing. That shows you how far back it was. I mean, Barcelona were playing their game, I forget who, and Bolton were playing a separate game. It was a double, and I lost £1,000 because of a last minute equaliser for the team that Bolton were playing. Horrible feeling. And then I chased that money, and I ended up losing more money. I can't remember exactly how it went, like what I had on, but I do remember the important bits. And I remember years later, I remember when David Goodwill, he was playing with Blackburn. I remember Blackburn were playing this day. It was near Christmas, so all the fixtures were all kind of fucked up. It wasn't like Saturday. It wasn't a Saturday. It was on a Monday or Tuesday or something. Like I say, it was around Christmas, so the fixtures were all different. And I remember getting up in the morning and I had money on Blackburn. Blackburn were party. It doesn't really matter who I had it on, right? But I do remember this particular day, I was betting all favourites, but I was betting them heavily, and it was just one bet at a time. It wasn't an accumulator. First bet was looking good. Forget again who it was, but it didn't come in. But I do remember it getting to the evening time, because I was out in Cumbernauld that day with my family shopping, and my mind just wasn't in it. They were speaking to me, and it was just automated answers. None of them noticed, but I was just looking at my phone all the time, getting updates for the football. Then it got to evening time, and I had lost £600-700, and I thought, I'm going to have to get this all back. And I put like £1,000 on Arsenal. They were playing Fulham, and everything was going good. They were winning, and I thought, right, I'll get my money back with a wee bit of profit, and I can just look at this, put this day behind me. And then Arsenal got a man sent off, then Fulham equalised, and I'm sure Fulham went on to win the game. So I was well and truly fucked. I mean, you're watching this with 5 minutes to go. Your team's got a man, they've got a man down, and they're needing to score 2 goals. It's horrible, man. You think, fuck, I've lost £700 today. And then it just got worse, and I was just betting on silly games in Brazil that I couldn't even watch. I was watching it on my phone, watching the back and forth, the possession and stuff. It's on Bet365. It's a horrible feeling, man. Thankfully, that was many years ago, and all it's done, looking back on it, I was suicidal with it, because I would look deep into it and think, oh well, this is God's way of saying I'm not wanted on this earth, because that was all that's all favourites I was betting on. So when you're betting on favourites, some of them heavy favourites, and they keep going against you, and they keep not coming in, you do start to think really negative. Then it got to a point I had like £5,000 in the bank. What happened there? I had £5,000 in the bank, man. That's a lot of money to me. I lost it all. And I mean, you think to yourself, well, what have I really got? At this point, I didn't have any of my kids. I had a girlfriend, but it's not nice, man. But listen, that was a long time ago. The point of this message is I'm just saying to people, you know, you can't let it beat you. From then, I'm so much stronger as an individual. I've got my 3 beautiful kids that I'm very blessed to have. They keep me strong. But addiction comes in so many shapes and forms. It does come in drugs, alcohol. There's even some sex addicts. I mean, I personally, I was a gambling addict. It was bad. Even in my sleeve, I've got a sleeve. I should have not had this jacket on. I could have showed you. And even in my sleeve, there's gambling stuff like a roulette wheel, cards, poker chips, because it was a big part of my life. And I look at it as character building. I certainly learnt a lot about myself during that time, and it made me a stronger person. I came through that. I will never go back to that. And that's my message to other people. That message being, you just need to try and see it through. And one day at a time, really. And don't think what I think. It's like, oh, if I put one more bet on, I'll get it all back, and I'll just put this to bed. I mean, that could happen. You could get lucky. That's the thing with gambling. You just never know. But I'm here now, and I was like I say, I was a heavy gambler, and I would bet everything without even thinking. I would have a grand on it, and I wouldn't even flinch. But then, when you're chasing it, then you lose everything, which I did. I've done it numerous times over, because then I'd rebuild, then I go back to it, and then just lose it all again. I mean, what was I really searching for? What amount of money was I searching for? Either way, it probably aged me too. It was a lot of stress. It wasn't nice. That's all I was thinking about. And that was the biggest thing, man. I couldn't enjoy anything. I couldn't enjoy a game of darts on telly without having money on it. And then that's what I done. Whenever a bet never came in, I would chase that, then chase that. If I lost, then you're just doing it to get your money back. You're not enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now, when I gamble, it's just a wee coupon with a few pound in it, or a few pound with a coupon with my brother or whatever, or my brothers. It's a bit of fun that I can afford. I mean, just a few pound, but yeah, you don't want to let it consume you, man. It's easier said than done. I've just realised I've really made this video and I've not really given any constructive advice. All I'm trying to say, right, is you can come out of these things with help, and you can do it without help, by the way, because I've done it. And you can rebuild, but it's certainly, unless you do win it big, and then you're just going to gamble it again, aren't you? That's the thing. And unless you do win it big, then you can't really beat the bookies, because eventually they do win. Even if you get your odd wins, eventually they get it all back off you. It's very unlikely and very rare that you're actually going to beat the bookies and get it. That was always my plan. Even when I was losing, I thought, right, I'll get that money back with a nice profit, and then I'll just get out and I'll be able to say I beat the bookies. But it just never happened. And it was, yeah, it got me suicidal when I lost all my money. Everything. And a few times I've done that, and it's not the answer. It's good, just if you're in that, if anybody's in that situation right now, I know it's tough, I've been there, but I would strongly advise you to get out, and then a few years down the line, I think you'll thank me. Anyway, I've been speaking enough.